And welcome back to the channel, everybody. So I wanted to do this video since a very long time. I wanted to introduce you guys to a game that I'm backing since September 2019. It would be an understatement to say I'm hyped for that one. And well, my experience should have taught me that, being too hyped for a release or an upcoming game can sometimes hurt your feelings really badly. But I can't help it. And the game I'm talking about is Dead Matter. We will look at multiple chapters today to give you a first impression of the game. As usual, there are timestamps, so if you're interested in only a few specific topics, you can skip the rest. Keep in mind that the footage that I'm about to show you is from their weekly update posts and from their development vlogs. So some clips might show you very early development, so don't be too put off by, some janky physics and graphics, which is also the reason why I will not really cover, physics and graphics in this video, because, well, I didn't even play the game yet. The closed alpha will start soon, which is nice, which also means that you might see stuff that will not make it into the finished project. So keep that in mind if you're watching that video, in a couple months or weeks. Alright, let's have a look at the topics that I want to talk about. So we're gonna start with, what is Dead Matter? Makes sense, right? Then every game starts with this, so the character creation will be interesting. Then you spawn into it, the map of Dead Matter. A bigger project, or let's say a bigger topic, will be the guns about Dead Matter, because that's an important in a shooter game, Then we will talk about fortification, because you can claim certain buildings for your own and then fortify it. Then I have a chapter for vehicles, because vehicles in this game are not just for driving from A to B. Then, well, it's a zombie shooter survival game, so how about we talk about some zombies in the game. Then also, how do you survive in the zone? What kind of ideas do the developers have for you? And then the last two chapters will be more my personal opinion, so why Dead Matter? Why should you pick up the game? Why am I hyped for this one? And is it the perfect game? So, I know this is now a little bit of a provoking question, but not everything is perfect. So I want to share also, as usual, my concerns about this one. And now, let's get started. Chapter 1. What is Dead Matter? Alright, this chapter will be really short, because the description is really easy of this one. The description is taken from their homepage, so it's not mine, it's theirs. A roguelite that aims to quench the community's thirst for a title that properly balances survival mechanics with gameplay. Also, Dead Matter is a zombie survival roguelite set in the near future, post-apocalyptic Alberta, so Canada, which is pretty interesting, bringing together various hand-picked elements of the open-world survival genre, along with our own original touches. Dead Matter aims to quench the community's thirst for a title to properly balance survival mechanics and blah blah blah. We had that one already. So, their key features basically is 0 pay-to-win features, which is kinda nice, because sadly, this is something you have to mention nowadays, that this is one of your key features and not, basic stuff. Then also a detailed open world interpretation of Alberta, Canada, a map full of vehicles to explore with, and the vehicles will be probably from the beginning of the game already on the map, which is pretty nice. A sprawling collection of randomly generated locations, okay. Planned for modding support, including Steam Workshop, which will be probably way further down the roadmap, but for further spicy content, it should be pretty nice. Survive the apocalypse by hunting, farming, or camping. Not player camping, okay? Alright, then they claim to be a talented and passionate team of developers and community staff. We will see about that one. A great community on both our forums and official Discord server. I'm gonna leave the links in the description below. So yeah, that's the description. Now you know what this game is about. Let's hop into the next chapter. Chapter 2. Character creation. Alright, next chapter would be character creation. So pretty simple, first name, last name. This is taken from them, that's not me typing there, by the way. And right here, this is where it gets actually pretty interesting. So you have occupations, and they come already with a few perks in the description of what they're doing. It also seems that you have perk points available, And these perk points you can spend on the right for perk selection, and at the end it has to balance out, I think. You need to have a balance of 0 or more perk points in order to continue to the next stage. So you have to create a character with certain advantages that you handpick, but you also have to pick the disadvantages from your character. This is pretty nice. As you can see right now, they're showing already quite a lot of perks, to be honest. So I hope they can balance that, but for now that looks nice. Chapter 3, the map of that matter. Okay, let's talk about the maps. So there will be 2 maps, I hope this information is still correct. So the first one will be South Alberta with a 16 by 16 kilometer map, which is quite large to be honest. And the second one will be Calgary, a 6 by 6 kilometer map, which should be a big town. So we have 2 maps, one is like with a little bit more open space, and then the second one will be a huge town, which seems to be really interesting. So there should be something for your taste. You like a little bit more sniping, a little bit more open space, a little bit more traveling and exploring. You take probably the bigger map, and the other one is more for close quarter, a little bit more self gameplay. So that's really cool. Then, and the Hunt Showdown community, yeah, please look away right now. They have rain, okay? So they also have snow. I will show that later on. So this is pretty impressive. I think the initial idea was to have one big map, and I'm pretty happy that I split it. That way the servers can run a little bit, you know, smoother, I hope at least. You will have safe zones, you will have non-safe zones, and I can't wait to actually, I'm clicking just through here a little bit, and man, I really like this. Like, I was pretty surprised actually that they said, hey man, this will be Canada in Alberta, and I'm like, yo, this is a weird setting for, you know, post-apocalyptic, so I really like that they have something you can relate a little bit more, because, you know, if it's in the jungle or like everything is radioactive zone, maybe the connection is a little bit missing there for you. I think it might be actually more immersive to play on these maps, because this is something we are more used to. Or I hope so, that you're used to that, to like some civilization. Alright. Next chapter. Chapter 4. Dead matter. Guns. Alright, you can already see a big grin on my face, so this chapter will not be too shabby, right? So, the games that I play regularly as Hunt Showdown, and the other one a couple 100 hours as Escape from Tarkov. I'm really picky regarding how guns look, how guns feel, how guns sound, and how you can mod them. And I have to say, I'm probably pretty spoiled by these 2 games, like Hunt Showdown and Escape from Tarkov. The weapon design is amazing, how they sound and how they feel is awesome. So, the bar is already pretty high up there. So let's have a look. You saw already in the background, the 1873 looks nice. They have also the Remington 700, pretty cool. And then just the animations, they seem to be on point, or, you know, at least pretty decent. You have to keep in mind they're going into closed alpha. This is not the end of the development. They have also a nice little shooting range. You should see that now in the background. I hope so. Which is nice. You know, you can test your guns, you can test your mods. Cool. Then they have lots of concept art regarding upcoming weapons. This one might already be in the game. Sure, might be careful. You know, fancy, flashy screenshots. Everybody can do that. Yeah, but you already saw a few animations, and just look at this right here. I mean, we have here the double barrel shotgun. They also have an inspect gun hotkey. Nice. And I don't want to make this video too long. I would love to just let this run in the background so you can enjoy this, because it's a real treat for the eye. I mean, just look at these guns. I'm just clicking through here again. There's this one Canadian classic. Where is it? It's right here, and you can see there will be lots of modding. It will probably not be on Tarkov level. In all honesty, I hope it will not be on Escape from Tarkov level. It's, for me personally, a bit too much. It is amazing what they created, so that's pretty cool, but too much for me. Some modding is nice, like for example, the game Metro Exodus had some modding, right? but it was basic. So a little bit more than that, man, and I would be already pleased. Yep, I would be already pleased. Then you can see in the background now, hopefully there will be also different variances for like melee weapons. You can upgrade them. You find nails, you find a hammer, you have a baseball bat, bam, upgrade. Nails on your baseball bat for more spiky damage, you know. There's also katana, and throwing stuff will also be pretty cool. So you have your, you know, usual grenades. And honestly, look at that Molotov bottle. Does it get more Canadian? I don't think so. Alright, so, phew, can't wait to shoot these guns. And I think we go to the next chapter. The next chapter will be Fortification. Chapter 5, Fortification / base building. So now I want to have a look at another core mechanic of the game, and that will be fortification. So I'm saying fortification and not really base building, because right now you cannot build bases. You can claim buildings. You cannot claim all buildings, by the way. For example, you cannot claim a police station. But regular buildings can be claimed by you, and you can barricade them. Like, you can put paper on the wall to like block visibility for other players. However, if there's light inside, people can see the shadow moving, they can shoot that. You will have your base building like this, so fortification, where you can place walls. They start wooden, I think, and you can upgrade them to like metal sheets and stuff like that. That will be really, really cool. What I like about this in general is the user interface seems to be really basic and really easy to handle. I do not like user interfaces that are super complicated regarding crafting. So this is a plus. You also have traps that you can place. For example, here we have a barbed wire trap. There's more though, like you can also barricade the doors, and you will see that. It's pretty nice. There will be multiple ways to do it. You can do it with a chain. You can also do it like this. So really nice. Then you think that's already everything? No, there are also, as you can see here, danger electric fence. Pretty nice. Maybe you can toast zombies, I don't know. Maybe you can toast players, I don't know. It will all work with this thing here. And nice little detail, by the way. It seems to work with a solar panel. I don't know if this solar panel is I think this is just, you know, to support the switch, because I don't think this is enough to power, you know, an electric fence. Or you just barricade windows here with these metal bars. Honestly, the stuff that I saw was already pretty nice. There's way more. I can't show you everything right now. And I like it. Basic, simple, and effective. Next chapter. Chapter 6, Vehicles. So let's continue with vehicles. One might argue, do we really need a chapter for vehicles? Mike, isn't that like basic stuff like in all the other games? And I would say yes and no. Let's have a look really quick. So the amount of detail you have with these cars is already pretty amazing. So for example, here I have a clip where you open the door mid-drive and you just, you know, bitch slap this little zombie here. Pretty nice detail. The door breaks, you drive backwards, the door breaks. It's nice. The physics of it, they seem to be realistic. I mean, if you look at this sweet, you know, stunt there in the background. Yeah, I can already see Joe's driving skills. We will be fucking that. But also more stuff is pretty nice. You can be on the back of a truck and aim and shoot. You can be in the passenger seat, open everything, aim, shoot. It is really detailed and I like it. They can place traps on the street. They will have spikes that will destroy your tire and then you have to change the tire. So lots of cool little features, but the biggest one, that's why I said in the introduction, a vehicle is in this game not just for going from point A to B. It's also a mobile storage unit. And this is something that is really nice. It looks like you can take any container and place it in the back of your truck or whatever vehicle. I don't know if you can do it like with the trunk from a car, but it works with the back of a van, so that's already nice. Now the question is, of course, and I didn't see that, what happens if you crash? Is that stuff basically glued on the car, or we will see. But vehicles, so far what I saw, I like it. Next one. Chapter 7. The Zombies of That Matter. Alright, zombies. Now, core element of the game, obviously. So let's see how they act. So they're not the slow ones. They're really fast and they seem to be really aggressive. What I personally do like. This game claims, and we will talk about it later, that the zombies will be a threat. Like the last games that I played and it had zombies and it was a PvEVP game, the AI is mostly a pushover. This should change in this game. I hope they have the courage to actually do that. They want to force you to group up to fight it. I personally am a fan of that, so some challenging AI, you don't get it very often, so I hope we will get that. As you can see in the background clip, there are a lot of zombies swarming this developer here, right? Yeah, and he bites dust, which is pretty cool. Then, what I absolutely do not like is when it makes no sense that zombies can't reach you. You know, you jump over a fence, you're safe. You jump on the top of a car, you're safe. This is like... I'm not a huge fan, okay? These things, man, they can still, like, you know, climb up. They can pull themselves up. And as you can see there, just ignore the physics, okay? They can do this in this one, and they claim you cannot stand on top of a roof and be safe. Then, something else that is really cool, this is the old gore system, if I remember correctly, so they have already a new one. But depending on where you hit them, you will see it on the physical model. Again, this is noise. Alright, next chapter. Chapter 8, Surviving in That Matter. And surprise, we have another core mechanic, and that's surviving in a survival game. I know, right? Amazing. So, first thing first, there will be crafting for this. And there will also be, for example, this campfire, very basic stuff. There are some elements that are pretty cool though. They can burn out, so you can see in the back that it's speed up and it will burn out, I think, after a day. Surviving, basically you run around, you loot everything. So you can loot berries, bushes, trees for the bark that you probably need for the campfire to, you know, have something to burn. You can hunt. You can then harvest like skin, flesh, or meat, bones, stuff like that. You loot from the AI. That means zombies can have gear, as you can see in the background. And yes, I know everything is screaming Tarkov at you. Honestly, I don't mind that. If the looting system is similar, then that's fine by me, because that's actually not too bad. They have also a few, I don't want to call them mini event, but maybe that's what they are. I want to be careful with that since I didn't play it yet. Lockpicking, or for example, right here with the car. That will be really nice. If you fuck this up, by the way, you will alert all the zombies in your proximity, so be careful with that one. And if you fuck it up on top, you also damage the battery, so be careful. Then you have lots and lots of stats. And to be honest, I'm a little bit intimidated by that. I get some Scum vibes here, and I think one of the reasons why Scum didn't live up to the hype was they had too much. They had, in my opinion, mechanics in the game just for the sake of claiming, look how many mechanics we have in the game. So I hope they're careful with this one. So far, I think you can learn this. And yeah, looks decent. What else do we have here? There are different type of loot that you can get and equipment. You see that already in the background. Here we have a few tools that you will probably keep when you die. So it's like the key tool in Tarkov. Some basic equipment that is attached to you, you will keep on death. But other equipment that you might find, like mats for example, they will be gone. There are a lot of very special events. For example, now in the background you have, I think it's called the mine, where you have to go down, and honestly they have generators and stuff like that, and the light goes on. You have the team going down there and explore and survive. I want this now, please. Okay, I try to not fanboy too much in this game, in this video, I'm sorry. It's tough. So, let's go to the next chapter. Chapter 9. Why that matter? Okay, we're almost done with the video. 2 more chapters. And they're basically just reflecting my own personal opinion, okay? So be careful with that. Alright, why should you be interested in that matter? What got me hooked? First of all, I'm a huge fan of zombie survival games. But Mike, there's a shit ton out there already. Do I really need another one? Now, of course this is hard to tell right now because I didn't play the game yet. And you can show a lot. Playing the stuff is very often very differently. However, they made a few promises that are really interesting for me and really important. I want a survival game where it's not just about the PvP. Most of these survival games, the focus is very quickly, once you have experience in the game, only PvP. PvE is like, yeah, okay, it exists, but it's more, you know, annoying because they're coming at you mid-combat and they're not a real threat. So I am really happy that these zombies, they swarm you. They're not, you know, they go over a fence, they go on top of a car, they will probably break doors. I like this. This is really important for me. Then another thing, maybe not a unique selling point, because the unique selling point of this game is that they claim that the PvE will be hard too. I like the mechanics. Now, I'm not saying they're the first one to do stuff, which is probably not correct because there are plenty of games that I didn't play out there. But being on top of the, like on the back of the truck, being able to shoot the storage of the truck, then the fortification and stuff, it's very appealing to me. Like, I played some Deadside. I'm not saying Deadside is a bad game. They're also very early development right now. But the base building, for example, in Deadside, it takes too long for a single person. Not a huge fan of that. The fortification in that matter seems to be just the right amount of work, that it's not a stupid core and you enjoy it. So that's another plus. Then, again, the guns. I'm sorry, the guns, they look amazing. They sound very good. They seem to have the animations on point. Again, you need to play this game first. I hope I get accepted for a partnership. I applied to that. I'm not 100% sure if I will get it. If so, I can play the closed alpha as one of the first people. The closed alpha will have an NDA, so I will not be able to share it to you. Like, NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. But afterwards, I should be able to make content for this. And I'm still looking for a second main game. And I'm waiting for this literally since, I don't know, they announced the first closed alpha, I think February. So let's see. So there are a few arguments why I'm hyped for the game. Now let's go to the final chapter, shall we? Let's go. Chapter 10. Is that matter the perfect game? Okay, final chapter. And let's see. You have to keep in mind that my knowledge regarding this game is not on the same level as Hunt Showdown. So a few things that I will assume right now might be wrong. If so, my apologies. I will fix it in the pinned comment. So feel free to correct me in the comment section. Is that matter the perfect game? Who knows, alright? But I always try to be real with you guys. I try to be honest with my audience. And there are a few things where I'm a little bit concerned. Let's have a look. First of all, huge maps with hordes of zombies. I am a little bit curious how this will work regarding server stability. Like, Maverick Proving Grounds got, well, tossed in the bin because it wasn't possible with all these players on one map. Now, this project here seems to be also super ambitious. I don't have a problem with super ambitious projects, don't get me wrong. I'm glad they're trying to tackle this. But what happens when they're like, I don't know, I don't want to have a 16 by 60 map with 10 people. You need lots of people on the map, like 50, 60, 70, to fill that thing. To not just have AI. And then all of these people are able to trigger these massive amount of zombies, okay, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think you get a little bit the idea why I'm concerned here. Okay, so that's the first thing. Again, I might be totally wrong with this. The second thing is, I'm a bit scared that they try too much. They're super heavy on the guns, which I personally like. They have a gore system, the animations from the zombies, how they act, the map. It's just so ambitious. Again, I think you can pull this off, and I really hope they can pull this off. If so, man, this will be probably one of the best games I played in a long time. And the last thing is, what was the last thing? God damn it. Honestly, the communication and how much this game got delayed already. Now, Mike, you idiot, you want the perfect game, but you get triggered when they delay stuff. Yeah, this is a very good point. I prefer them to take all the time that they need. So if somebody from Dead Matter is watching this, by any chance, take all the time you need to finish this, to polish this. It's better to have a delayed game, but a game that has a, a failed release, this is really hard to recover. And work a little bit on the communication regarding the delays. That improved already by a lot, because lots of people were slightly annoyed that the closed alpha got delayed and the communication was too late or did not exist for a couple days or weeks. So I'm really happy they changed this with these weekly updates. So I have these 3 concerns. Maybe I'm just scared because this is not the first game that I backed and it flopped. Maverick Proving Grounds was probably the one that hurt the most, because they showed already a lot, and then they showed some gameplay footage, and it was shit. And that was the first time where I'm like, ooh, can they make it? So Dead Matter is already beyond this point, I would say. The footage that it showed is nice. I hope we can play it soon, and then I hope it might be my second main game. Who knows? Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching. This is probably a little bit longer than I wanted, but again, there is so much more I could have shown you. Like, I was really just on super high level regarding what I showed you. I hope you liked it. I try to introduce my audience to more and more games that I think are worth it. I hope this doesn't backfire. Alright, that's it. Let's roll the outro. I'm really happy I was finally able to introduce you guys to Dead Matter. Again, I'm super hyped for the game, and reality can be pretty disappointing. Fingers crossed. As soon as I have access to the game, and as soon as I'm allowed to stream the game, you will find me play Dead Matter over at twitch.tv/Psychoghost. You know what is absolutely not disappointing? My patrons. Thank you guys for the mind-blowing support. Thank you for watching. I hope you don't mind that I showcase a few games from time to time, like Marauder, now Dead Matter, and hopefully more to come. I see you in the next one. Until then, have a good day and bye bye.